Hello and welcome to this video. What are Python operators? Python operators are used to perform operations on variables and values. There are different types of operators in Python, so I'm going to cover some of the operators in Python. The first one is the arithmetic operators. So these are basically used with numeric values to perform common mathematical operations. So they include things like plus, subtraction, multiplication, division, and this here is called the modulus operator. The next type of operator is the assignment operators. And these type of operators are basically used to assign values to variables. So these are what the symbols look like. You've got the equals to, the plus equals, minus equals, multiplication equals, division equals, and modulo equals. We also have the comparison operators, which are used to compare values. And they include double equals to. If you want to compare if two values are strictly equals to each other, you use the double equals to sign. If you want to check if one value is not equals to another, you use this. If a value is greater than, you use that. If a value is less than, if a value is greater than or equals to, if a value is less than or equals to. So these are all comparison operators. The final type of operator I'm going to cover in this video is called the logical operators. They are used to combine conditional statements. So they include things like and, or not. I have created a new notebook. So inside this cell here, I'm going to add some operators and I'm going to run through the code to explain what the operators do. I have added some code into this notebook cell to illustrate how arithmetic operators work. So I'm going to start with the addition operator. So here I'm creating two variables, variable x and variable y. Variable x, I've given a value of 7. Variable y, I'm giving a value of 5. So I'm using the print function to print the value of x plus y. So this here is the addition operator. All right. So I will run the cell later. I'm not running the cell now, but I'm just showing you the examples of the operators within the arithmetic operator. Here we've got two values. Value x, value y. I'm using the print statement to print the value of x, subtract the value of y. So this here is the subtraction operator. Next, we've got the multiplication. The multiplication in Python is represented by the asterisk. Again, we've got two values, x and y. We are using the print function to multiply the value of x times the value of y. And then here we have two variables, x is equals to 12, y is equals to 4, and we're using the print function to divide x by y. Slash is known as the division operator. We've got one more, which is the modulus operator. So we've got two values x equals 7, value y equals 5. We're using the print function to print x modulus y. Modulus basically means when you divide by a number, it will only return the remainder from that division. For example, if you divide 7 by 5, basically 5 can go into 7 once, remainder 2. So the modulus operator will return the remainder, which is 2. So let me run the cell and you can see the output. You can see here the first value here is 12, which is x plus y. So 7 plus 5 is 12. and the second value here is 2. So if you take away 7 from 5, which is the subtraction operator, that gives you 2. The third value here says 35, which is multiplication. If you multiply 7 by 5, that will give you 35. Next one is the division. If you divide 12 by 4, that will return 3. And for the modulus operator, modulus will always return the remainder. So 5 can go into 7 one time, remainder 2. So it returns the remainder, which is 2. So this is how the arithmetic operator works. I've added some code into my second cell in my notebook. This is the second cell. And this code here is going to illustrate how the assignment operator works. Assignment operators basically used to assign values to variables. We already used that in the previous example for the arithmetic operator. You can see all this equals to sign here. We're using it to assign values to variables. All right. So there are different types of assignment operators. So here I've got a variable called city. I've given it a value of London using the equals to, which is the assignment operator. So here I'm telling the print function to print the value of city. Here I've got two variables, x equals to 7, and then x equals to plus equals to. When you have a plus equals to, you're basically saying add this 3 to the value of x. So when you print x, x will now print 10 because x is 7, and we're calling the value, we're calling x here, and we're adding plus equals to means add 3, and then you're using the equals to assign the 3 to the 7, making it 10. So the same process with the minus. If you do a negative equals to, that means you're taking 3 away from the value of x. Same thing with the multiplication. What that is saying is that you are multiplying 3 by 7. With the division, the same thing. You are dividing 3, the value of 3 here, slash equals to mean divide equals to. You are dividing that by 3, that will return 2. Same example with the modulus here. We've got the variable x equals to 7, then x equals to the percent equals to, which is modulus equals to 3. What that means is that for the modulus operator, you're going to divide 3 by 7 and return whatever is left. So this here, print x, will return 1 because 3 can go into 7 2 times. It will have 1 remainder. That's what this print x is going to return. So let's run this cell and then we can see. So you can see here, these are all the values. Let's go to the top of the value. It says we're printing x here, which is the value of city. And you can see here it prints London. And then the next one here, we have the variable x, and we're adding 3 to it. So we print x, x now becomes 10. So the same thing here, we've got the variable x, which is 7. We using the negative equals to, it will subtract 3 from that, that will return 4. And then here we're multiplying 3 by 7, give us 21. And here for the division, we're dividing 3 by 6, gives us 2. And here for the modulus, 3 goes into 7 2 times, remainder 1. So the modulus will return 1. I have added some more code to a new cell here to illustrate how the comparison operators works. So comparison operators are basically used to compare two values. So let me run through the examples here. Here I've got a variable x equals to 7, variable y equals to 3. I'm using the print function to check the comparison. Where you have a double equals to, it means you are comparing. So it's saying print x is equals to. A single equals to is used to assign a value, where you have a double equals to is used to compare a value. So note the difference. Here, x equals to 7 is a single equals to. That is used to assign values to variables. Here in the print function, I am checking comparison here. So I'm checking if x is equals to y. All right. So this, if I run the cell, this is going to return false because 7 is not equals to 3. If we look in this example, x equals 7, y equals to 3, print x. When you have the question mark, it means print x is not equals to y. This will return true because x, which is 7, is not equals to 3. And then we have, again, I'm going to use the same variables for the examples. Variable x is 7, variable y is 3. I'm using the print function to print is x greater than y. This will return true because 7 is greater than 3. Same thing here. We're checking is x less than y. This is returned false because 7 is not less than 3. Again, the same thing. We're checking x is greater than or equals to y. This will return true because 7 is greater or equals to 3. In this example, same thing. Check if x is less than or equals to y. This will return false because 7 is neither less than or equals to 3. So let me run the code and you can see the output. With a comparison operator, you always get a true or false value because you're checking things. Is this equals to what, and so on. So you always get a Boolean result. Boolean basically is a true or false outcome. I have entered some code into another cell, and this cell here is going to illustrate how the logical operators work. Logical operators are used to combine conditional statements. Okay, so here I've got a variable x equals to 7, and I'm using the print function to check some conditions. So I'm saying x is greater than 3, and this and here is a logical operator, and x is less than 10. This is going to return true because 7 is greater than 3 and 7 is less than 10. All right, so if we look at this example here, x equals to 7, we're going to use a print function to check the comparison. We're saying x is greater than 3 or x is less than 4. This is going to return true because one of the condition where you have an or, all you need is one of the conditions to be true, and that evaluates to true. If you have an and, both conditions must be true for it to return true. You can see this x is greater than 3 is one condition, and then x is less than 10 is another condition. The and here means that both conditions must be true for the outcome to be true. With the or logical operator, you only need to have one of the expression to be true, and that will return true. So in this case, x is greater than 3. That returns true. Okay, but 7 is not less than 4. You can see here it says x less than 4. 7 is not less than 4. So this part of the expression is false, but it will evaluate to true because one of the condition in the comparison is true when you use the or operator. Here we're saying x is 7. We're using the print function to use the not part of the logical operator. We're saying not x is greater than 3 and x is less than 10. This is going to return false because not is used to reverse the result. So let me run the cell and you can see the outcome. You can see here, first outcome is true, second one is true, and the last one is false. In this video, we learned about some of the operators in Python. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.